Welcome back to Stamping at the Warren, and I'm Kim Tolton, and today we're going to be making a version of this card here, and it's called Seaside Shore, and it's beautiful. And I made this card actually for my brother, or one of my brothers. I got three, and he's a scuba diver, and I know this is sort of more seen around an aquarium, but it can be really tough actually year after year trying to find nautical themed cards that he hasn't had before. So it was so lovely to see this new stamp set in there, and we're going to be doing a bit of sponging and some stamping, and just having a bit of fun with it really. And we're using the embossing folder, which is, and I can't remember the name of it, I think it's called Seashore again. I'll make sure it's on my blog for you anyway. I used to write the names on them all, but then decided against it, and then I can't always remember them. Right, so product wise, I haven't actually got my stamp sets out yet. Tut, 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 tut. So we're going to go with some Emerald Envy and some Dapper Denim, and let's think, some Island Indigo, I think. And have I got soft suede out already? No. And soft suede, which is a beautiful colour. Love it, one of my favourites. And I might go a bit of wild wasabi in there as well. So it's heavy on ink pads, but they can be topped up, so no real issue there. And I might even do a bit of Bermuda Bay. Let's see how we go. I'm going to wing this one. I've still not got soft suede out. There we go. So I've got a whole assortment of different blues, greens, and then one brownie one, and we're just going to wing it from there and see where we go. So there's Bermuda Bay, Emerald Envy, Dapper Denim, Wild Wasabi, and Island Indigo, all very nautical colours. Right, so we're going to start off by making our card base. And you will also need 2 pieces of Wistful White cardstock. These both measure 14 by 10.1 centimetres. And turn my trim around the right way. So let's pop this in. Just pop along, go along the guide in your stamping trimmer until 10.5 centimetres. Put one piece to one side. This piece, you now need to make sure the cutting blade is well away from you, and then line up with 14.9 centimetres and score. And that's all the cutting we're doing today. You just want a bone folder, burnish that fold nicely. And we're actually going to emboss. We're going to start with the embossing, because we're actually going to emboss the card base, and then we're going to add some panels to it just to stabilise it a little bit. So up comes my big shot, and I just want to introduce you to the new multi-purpose platform. So if you're familiar with the old one that had all tabs, it's been much modified, mostly because Stampin' Up! Now really only uses thinlits and framelits dies, which don't need the same depth as before. So you now have the Big Shot platform, which is the main platform which we're using today, but then if you're using thinlits dies, you just add on this tiny little topper and it goes through in the usual way. So it's made it much less complicated. Right, so you want your multi-purpose platform or your Big Shot platform at the bottom. You then want a cutting plate. Then you want, actually, is this called Swimmingly? Oh, I don't know. The name's just popped in my head. So you're just going to line this up with the inside crease. Make sure you don't go over it. And then pop your top cutting plate on. Now these are 6-inch wide embossing folders, so you do have to be careful how you fold them or run them through the Big Shot so that they don't get damaged at the edges. So just take a bit of time to make sure they're all nicely lined up. And then out that comes, and we can put the Big Shot away. That's all finished with. So when you remove your card, you can decide which way round you want it to be. I think we're going to use it this way. Should we use it that way? No, I think I'm going to stick with what I said originally. Right, so one of those panels we're going to pop there. The second panel we're actually going to pop on the inside behind there, if that makes sense. And normally actually you want 3 of these actually. And, oh, things toppling down. So Tombow is the best thing, and the reason I'm doing a panel on the inside of the cover behind the embossing is just to stabilise it, because as soon as you emboss card, it softens it. If it's softened, it makes it harder for things to stand up without curling all over the place. So it's worth popping that in. Your second one is just to go down in the usual place that you would write your sentiment or your greeting. There we go. And that is your card base made. Next we need that third panel that's the same size, 14 by 10.1 centimetres, and this is where we start stamping. So bring all those ink pads in. I think I'm going to start with Emerald Envy, and we'll just get some of these stamps out, and then we can play to our heart's content. There. That one. And that one. Okay, so we're going to start with the kelp. I'm going to do that we're using Emerald Envy to start off with. Stamp off the page so you can see there the stamp doesn't go all the way on the page, and just stamp this at varying heights and use 2nd, 3rd, 4th generation stamping. And repeat that with Island Indigo. And just bring that up, bring it up at the sides, just so you're getting a layering effect going on. There we go, so you've got different colours going on there. finish with the kelp. Then I think we are going to go with our little puffer fishy one, and I'm using wild wasabi here. And you just want to angle your fish. Let's pop one in the weeds there as well. Swap that over for the other fish, angelfish. Is it an angelfish? No, it's not. I didn't get the angelfish out. I love the angelfish. My favourite. I had an aquarium full of angelfish when I was young. Right, so we want dapper denim, I think, for the angelfish. And what's lovely is these you can use in either direction. One there. And then we'll have one coming up here. And then I think we'll finish with that other little fish. And for that one we will use Bermuda Bay. Oh, that was good, wasn't it? That's probably my little granddaughter yesterday. We've got a nice tank of fish swimming around. There we go. Right, so a bit of sponging then, which will add some dimension. Okay, let's see if I've got, there we go. So this is just some residual ink. This is from when I did the card the other day. And I was getting everything prepped. And just keep bringing your colour up. And then I just want to add in a bit of dapper denim in there. Just to darken it up a little bit in places. And bring it up and around all the edges just to give some nice definition on your edges. There we go. And I'm sure, yes I did. Thought I got soft suede out. So we want a sentiment and we want the anchor. Just trying to make sure I'm not losing any of my stamps at the same time. And we want some bubbles. Let's grab a little block. Right, bubbles in dapper denim because we can use, I think I was getting about 5th generation. And that just means the amount of times you stamp before you have to re-ink. Just add your bubbles in. And add some nice dark ones down the bottom here. There you go. And lastly, with soft suede, do our anchor. I think my soft suede is coming up for time for re-inking. I only re-ink my stamps roughly every 3 months. just gives a lovely goldy colour. In fact, at Christmas I use it as a gold, see? And then change that for the sentiment, which says, hoping your day goes swimmingly. Nice. I'll pop that right up the top there. Maybe a few little clamshells just dotted about right down at the bottom, just for a bit of added interest. There you are. And then we have one last job to do, so we just need a piece of scrap cardstock. And onto here we're going to stamp the ahoy there. Lovely little stamp. And we'll use Dapper Denim for that. It's nice and rich and juicy. Okay. And your paper snips. Roughly cut it out. And whilst we're waiting for that to dry nicely, we can pop this on here and Tombow. Nearly got it the wrong way up. Make sure the fold is on the right side, and you can just see the embossing coming around the edge. There you are. And finally, paper snips, bit of fussy cutting. Remember, rotate the cardstock, not your scissors. Your scissors stay stationary. And you want roughly a 1 centimetre. 1 centimetre? Gosh, that would be huge. 1 millimetre, 1 to 2 millimetres of white around the image you're fussy cutting out. Fussy cutting means just that, it's a bit fussy. I love freehand cutting. I always have. But I worked for my dad as a paste-up artist when I was a young woman. And I also worked for Customs and Excise. Don't groan. I used to amend all the red and white papers, so cutting and pasting is how we used to do it, with a knife and a ruler and glue, and that's how we did it back in those days. All different now, it's all electronic. In fact, my dad's first die cutting machine, first typesetter ran on ticker tape. And it was the size of our downstairs at home. It was huge, and I would have to type it all out, and it'd come out on this reel of ticker tape, and then I put it all through the typesetter, And if we got anything wrong, we'd have to repeat it all over again. Start all over again, and then we'd cut and splice the ticker tape that we'd done. Joys. This brings back memories because I did this huge piece for Greenwich Mean Time, which was all the longitude and latitude. Oh my goodness, it was the most awful job I ever did. Had to be by far. Even beating hands down the Continent Aid book that I illustrated. And as a young woman, I didn't know what half of the things were. It was a guest job. Right, that's it. It's finished. Here the deck's a little bit. So that's that card, and let's bring in the original, and you can see same stamp set, quite different, even though we've got similar elements in there. And that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. I'd love to see your makes with this stamp set. It's great fun. It's brilliant as a card for kids. It's brilliant for kids to make for their family and their friends, and it's just a great masculine card, feminine card. You can just make it what you want it to be. It's just brilliant all round stamp set, and I love it. So thanks for watching. All my social media information's in the show more section underneath today's video. If you click on the eye icon in the top right of the corner of today's video, you will see a card come up that will take you straight through to today's video tutorial. And if you would like to follow my community Pinterest board, as long as I see you have an interest in Papercraft, I'll send you an invitation to start pinning, and then it's down to you if you decide to join and start sharing your pictures that you like on Pinterest. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon. Ta-ta for now.